I always, whether it's for when we're screening for, heart things or whether we're screening for low energy availability, my goal is not to restrict people from activity. My goal is to help them to participate safely. And we know for women especially, there's such a fine kind of set point that we have to that our body feels like allows us to exercise and to do all the things that we need. As soon as we dip below, we don't have a lot of reserve to dip below before we start to see these abnormalities. And so within 30 days of being at low energy availability relative to your own caloric needs, you'll start to see those hormonal changes, which then leads to loss of a menstrual cycle and reduced bone mineral density. And we have this kind of theoretical number. And so if you ever met with a nutritionist, they would be able to calculate what you needed. But we say that basically adequate energy availability is like 45 kcals per free fat mass per day for a person. And so that would be calculated with a nutritionist. But as soon as you dip like to 30 or below, that's considered true low energy availability. And some women will manifest that even at 40 or 35. And so
Yes,
again,
I know.
you have a really narrow window, right? And that's why I'm saying a lot of our athletes, right, it may very well be unintentional. I've seen it several times where when you make that transition to that next level of training, right, you dip up from, or you kind of transition up from high school to college. Now, all of a sudden, you're doing 2-a-days. You may be doing strength training, things you weren't doing before. You're eating the same, or maybe a little bit more, but it's definitely not enough to meet an additional 2-hour practice load.
Yeah.
Almost every woman that I've ever met is undercutting the calories that her body, technically needs to function. And
Yeah.
even though you feel like it's helpful, typically it's not helping your
It's
performance.
not.